Our national anthem here from Wilson Logistics Arena as we get set for the Arena League. Game 2 for both of these teams. The Ozarks Lunkers come in with a record of 1-0 on the season, taking on the Duluth Harbor Monsters, who are 0-1. Color Guard will make their way off of the field here. Luth teams in attendance and ready to go for this one. We'll have the start of tonight's match coming up momentarily. Do want to mention the Lunkers 2 weeks ago. Now, they had last week off, so 2 weeks ago they beat the Iowa Woo 69-40. That was here at Wilson Logistics Arena. Duluth, meanwhile, lost to the Kansas City Goats by a score of 77-52. So Duluth comes in 0-1. The Lunkers are 1-0. Duluth coached by Tony O'Neill, while the Lunkers coached by Cam Bruffett. And we will get set and ready to go. We'll try to educate you on 6-on-6 football, which is what this is. We have the opening coin toss coming up here momentarily with the sheriff of Greene County. That'll be Jim Arnott at the middle of the field. So the captains will come out and we'll have the opening coin toss for you. Captains for the Harbor Monsters and for the Ozarks Lunkers making their way onto the middle of the field. And again, Jim Arnott, the sheriff of Greene County on this Father's Day weekend, and good crowd here at Wilson's Logistics Arena set for this game. A hot day in the Ozarks today. Temperatures in the 90s, but boy, in here, arena football, it is gorgeous and a great atmosphere. They've had a number of festivities going on during the pregame for the Lunkers here tonight. Duluth coming in, again, 0-1. They had a 13-hour bus ride to get here. We'll tell you about the Duluth team as we go along here. Again, their coach is Tony O'Neill. They've got a big party going on in the Duluth area for some of the fans, and the general manager there, Stephen Walters, is hosting that event. The owner of the Harbor Monsters is Brent LeBry, CEO of High Tech Finishing and Kramer Service Group. Do a little drag racing there as well, big sponsor of that. So we see the captains at midfield, and we'll see how the coin toss goes. Looks like the Harbor Monsters will receive, and we'll give you kind of a recap of how this game goes. There are 4 15-minute quarters. Now, each team has a 15-man roster. It's a running clock, and they've tried to make some adjustments after the first 2 weeks of the season. We'll stop only for penalties, injuries, or change of possessions. There is a 20-second play clock for the Arena League, and we'll keep you updated on that. We do have some Sky officials here next to us. The Skybox officials, Luke Shawham and Brian Whittick, are next to me in the booth. On the field, Byron Pearson is the white hat. Jason Jackson is the back judge, and Gary McElray is the line judge for tonight's contest. So the Harbor Monsters will get the ball first here. You see them in their very colorful uniforms. Their colors are dark blue, light blue, gold, and gray. I love their uniforms. You can see their numbers, number 1. Meanwhile, the Lunkers are in the dark unis with the gray numerals on their backside. And we're just about set for the opening throw-off here. The Lunkers will throw it down to the Harbor Monsters. For the Lunkers, this is Kendrick Payne. And dropping back deep for the Harbor Monsters is Terrence Winsel, scored 4 touchdowns last week. So we're just about set. They'll have a rolling clock starting at 15 minutes here to get this one underway. Hope you enjoy it here on MeTV and the Arena League Network. Here's the throw off, caught at about the 5 by Wenzel. Gets through the hole, down his field he goes near midfield and finally brought down at about the 16-yard line, and that's where the Harbor Monsters will take over. Again, Wenzel with 4 touchdowns last week. He was one of the stars for them. The starting quarterback is Javante Johnson. He's played a couple other Arena League teams, Sioux City and Tri-City Rush, where he was the MVP. He spreads them out. Receiver on both sides. Snap back. Johnson goes shallow, right side. Caught at about the 15-yard line and down there. So a gain of about 2 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Harbor Monsters. They come in tight now on this 2nd down play. Snap back to Johnson. He can't run. He throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. Throws it a little bit low, and the pass intended there for Austin Gray. Last week, Javante Johnson completed 15 passes. He was 15 of 48 for 215 yards. That was in their first game against Kansas City. Johnson drops back, looking right, throws right, ball in and out of the hands of his intended receiver over there. Incomplete. That was intended for Cromie. Looked like he took his eye off it at the last second and dropped it. And it'll bring up a 4th and 8 here. Snap back. Johnson looking left this time. Rolls to his right. Throws it near the goal line. It is caught at about the 1 and then dropped. Let's see. They're going to say fumbled and picked up by the Lunkers. So caught and then fumbled on the play. And the Lunkers will take over at their own 5-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Lunkers, and they'll bring up their offensive unit, led by Marquis Smalls, the quarterback. He'll spread it out offensively at their own 5. Smalls takes a snap. He will roll to his left, throws it middle of the field. It is caught at about the 20-yard line, 15-yard gain there for the Lunkers. That'll be a 1st down. Last week, Smalls was 14 of 20 for 178 yards passing. He takes it here, slow snap. He rolls around, still on his feet, rolls to his right, now throws, and it's intercepted. And into the end zone. Duluth will score on the interception. Ball out of the fingertips of Lunkers quarterback Smalls there, picked off by Murray, who scores the first of the game. That was a 20-yard interception by Murray. And Duluth on the board here. They're going to go for, looks like they're going to go for 2. The ball at the 10. If they go from the 5 on the extra point, it's a 1-pointer if it's successful. If they go from the 10, it's a 2-pointer, and they're going to go from the 10. 2-point conversion, yes, motion on the right side. They throw it short. Caught at about the 8-yard line and down there, the extra point, no good. And it's 6-0 Duluth here. And that is at the 10:30 point of.
Be it rain or gusting wind, or whatever Mother Nature throws you. When there's fish to be caught, nothing will stand in the way. Bass Pro Shops Guideware features Gore-Tex technology with the protection you need from the elements, so you can stay on the water and catch the big ones. The all-weather, all-performance Bass Pro Shops Guideware, because there are no rain checks out here.
His own goal line, dropping back deep for the Lunkers, is Bertelsmeyer. Boy, did he have a game in week number 1. So Strong will throw it downfield, and he hits the ceiling, and they're going to have it at the 25-yard line. So it'll be at midfield where the Lunkers will take over. Anytime it hits the ceiling on a throw-off, it's automatically the opposing team's ball at midfield. Now, again, these are 50-yard field. The field is 50 yards. So the 25 is midfield here. Smalls pitches it back. This is Rush. Rush can run. He gets a snap back. He's got some room left side, and he is banged into the wall over there. He gets the first down, a gain of 12 by Matt Rush on his first carry of the game. Rush last week for the Lunkers carried it a few times. 3 carries, 17 yards last week, and we're going to have a violation here. Flag thrown, and they're going to mark it off against the Harbor Monsters. Down to their 8-yard line. So it is first and goal for the Lunkers. They trail 6-0 here in the first quarter. Motion man left side. Smalls being rushed. He drops back, throws it into the end zone. It is picked off again in the end zone, and again it is picked off by the Harbor Monsters' Murray. Josh Murray with his second pick of the game. And last week or 2 weeks ago, Smalls did not have an interception. Make sure that is correct. No interceptions last week for Smalls, but 2 already in this one, and the Harbor Monsters take over. They lead it 6-0. Johnson, he has Paleagas, the center. This guy's 300-pounder, 330-pound. Motion, and we got a flag. Went over a little bit early, but wide open down the field and caught by Ski. Ski on his feet, but they're going to bring it back. There was motion man. A little bit too early that time. It'll be offsides against the Harbor Monsters. That was Ski in motion. He had a nice little jump there offensively, and they're going to bring it back even though it was caught downfield. So Murray with a couple of picks in the game for the Harbor Monsters already. And they lead it 6-0. We have 7:53 to play. Motion again. Johnson looking downfield. He throws it, and it is caught near the wall on the near side, and in for the score. In for the score from 45 yards out. I believe that was Strong with the touchdown. And that one will count. A 45-yard scoring strike by Johnson to Strong. And just like that, the Harbor Monster on top 12-0 here in the opening quarters, 7:15 to play. They're going to go for one here. Ball at the 5. That's a 1-point extra point. Snap back. They're going to throw it into the end zone, and it's deflected. So it is no good. makes it 12-0 now. Duluth on top of the Lunkers. We have 6:58 to play in the opening quarter. 12-0 Duluth, and they will throw it off to the Lunkers here. So a quick start for the Harbor Monsters, who played their first game against Kansas City and lost 77-52. The Goats are 2-0 on the season. Again, throwing the ball downfield will be Mo Strong. I wonder if he learned anything after his first throw. Bertelsmeyer is at his own 1-yard line. Official gives the ball to...
There are many great veterans organizations that help our wounded warriors. It's invisible wounds that go unrecognized, leading to addiction, brokenness, and often suicide. The Warriors Journey is a nationally recognized veterans nonprofit headquartered here in Springfield, Missouri. Our programs have helped over 15,000 warriors face those invisible challenges, saving thousands of lives and restoring countless families. No paperwork, no red tape. Learn more at twj.org or text us at 213-TWJ-HELP.
But boy, things not looking good for the Lunkers here as far as their ball handling abilities in this opening quarter. 6:40 to play in the quarter. Again, it'll be Lunkers ball. Deep in their own territory. Smalls brings his team out. He's got Tobias Little to his right in the backfield. Now rush in motion. Here's a short pass, caught on the flat, and diving forward to get the extra yardage that time. For the Lunkers, that is Chris Scruggs. So Scruggs able to fight forward and pick up the first down. Here's Smalls again, gets it to his teammate Little. Little crashing forward across the 10 down to the 8-yard line where he is stopped. So Tobias Little with the big catch and run, and he picks up a first and goal situation here. Little will trot off the field here. Bertelsmeyer comes on, and we will have a timeout. Timeout with 5:16 to play, so we'll go ahead and take a break as well. This is the Arena League on MeTV.
There are many great veterans organizations that help our wounded warriors. It's invisible wounds that go unrecognized, leading to addiction, brokenness, and often suicide. The Warriors Journey is a nationally recognized veterans nonprofit headquartered here in Springfield, Missouri. Our programs have helped over 15,000 warriors face those invisible challenges, saving thousands of lives and restoring countless families. No paperwork, no red tape.
Back at Wilson Logistics Arena at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri. At a timeout there as the Lunkers were pushing it downfield. They have a first and goal situation here at the Harbor Monsters 7-yard line. They trail 12-0. We have 4:13 to play in the opening quarter. Now a timeout for the Harbor Monsters, so we will keep it right here. We were trying to educate you a little bit on this 6-on-6 football. Again, with the field being just 50 yards, it's a different game, a faster-paced game. They also have the hockey walls going around the outside of the arena, and those are in play unless a player is hit into them, and then they're out of play. So that's part of the game, using the hockey walls on the outside of the field. That's a little different than normal football. They have throw-offs. There is no kicking in the Arena League. So the throw-off is instead of a kickoff, and their extra points are either a 1-pointer from the 5-yard line or a 2-pointer from the 10-yard line. And we've already witnessed that in this game. Quarterback cannot advance the ball unless he pitches it or passes it to somebody, then he can become a receiver. So he cannot run the ball after it snaps to him. So here we go after a couple of timeouts with 4:13 to play in the opening quarter. Marquis Smalls will bring his team up. He's got L. Tyser as his center. He's a 300-pounder as well. Motion man coming in. Here's a pass over the top. It is tipped and incomplete, intended for Chris Scruggs. So it'll be second and goal now for the Lunkers. The clock continues to tick. It's a running clock as well. There is a 20-second play clock. Marquis Smalls takes a snap, bobbles it, now hands it off behind him. Bertelsmeyer rambles forward inside the 5, down to the 1-yard line. His first carry of the game. And it'll bring up a third and goal from the Harbor Monsters 1. Good job defensively there by Lovell Spruce, playing nose guard. Here's a pitch back. Bertelsmeyer scampers in from 1 yard out, and the Lunkers get on the board here in the opening quarter. 1-yard run by Bertelsmeyer, who scored 4 last in the first game for the Ozarks Lunkers. They're going to go for 1 here. Smalls sets his team at the 5, so this is a 1-yard extra point. Snap back. Smalls rolls to his left. He throws it into the end zone, and it is caught. Caught in the end zone on a quick out by Matt Rush. So the 2-point conversion is good. It makes it now 12-8. Duluth on top. And now the Lunkers will throw it off. We'll see who gets that assignment here after the touchdown. That came at 2:20 to play. We will have a 2-minute warning here coming up. So we may or may not get this play off, and we'll have a 2-minute warning, and we'll take a break at that time. They did stop the clock. We'll see who's going to throw it off. Looks like it's going to be Kendrick Payne. Will throw it off for the Lunkers. So he's at his own goal line, and he has to throw it downfield. The return man for the Harbor Monsters is Terrence Winsel. He is dangerous. There's the throw. Good one. Caught at the goal line. Winsel sees a seam, and he is brought down by the Lunkers. That is Josh Evans. Josh Evans, who is activated this week, gets the tackle. And we will have our 2-minute warning coming up here. 12-7 is the score. I was incorrect on that extra point. 12-7 was the score after that. And we have a flag here. Motion man. Offside on the play for the Harbor Monsters. That was a 1-point extra point the Lunkers scored. So 12-7 to score here, not 12-8, as I had indicated earlier. You saw the motion man take off. He crossed the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. That was Cromie. So they move him back. He does it again. Here's a snap back to Johnson. Johnson looking deep. He's going to throw it downfield. It's got a one-on-one situation, and it's incomplete near the 10-yard line. So incomplete. Johnson now 2 for 5 passing unofficially. I've got him for 18 yards. So 2-minute warning comes at the second quarter, not the first quarter. So we'll have a break at the end of the first quarter. Again, all trying to get used to all the new rules in this. They have a 2-minute warning at the end of the half. Here's a handoff to Ski, DeJounte Ski, and he pushes it forward up across the 10-yard line down to the 9-yard line. So Ski, the ball carrier there. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Harbor Monsters. Johnson takes a snap high. He brings it in. Being rushed, he throws it low. Pressure put on that time by the Lunkers. Jalen Jones, 6'3", 220-pounder from Pitt State, got in there quickly. Incomplete pass there, and that'll do it for the end of the first quarter. The Harbor Monsters 12, Lunkers 7. We'll take a break. It is the Arena League on MeTV. Welcome back to Wilson Logistics Arena. We're in Springfield, Missouri, North Springfield, Missouri at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. My name is Tom Ladd. This facility, by the way, brand spanking new. It was built just months ago, and it's already held several different either trade events or shows. They've had a lot of dirt put in here, and they've had tractor pulls and the like, I think motorcycle events. So They have done several different events, and the second Lunkers game that they've held in this facility. Normally, it'll hold 6,300, but because of the football, they really cut off one end zone, and they can hold about 4,500 in this facility. Harbor Monsters surrender on fourth down, so the Lunkers take over. This is Smalls throwing downfield. He passes, and it is caught at the 17, 18-yard line. So a great pass there by Smalls downfield. Ball is caught for a first down. Lunkers will send a man wide left. That is Scruggs. Now motion man coming in. That's Rush. And the quarterback sacked. Big time coverage there by the line, the defensive line of the Harbor Monsters. That is Singleton and Derek Daniels getting in quickly for the sack. And that's the neat thing about this. Defensively, you can really mask some things up, man-to-man coverage, zone coverages, show some different type of looks defensively, try to fool your opponent in what they do. Here's a pitch back to Rush. Rush takes off down the field. He tries to elude a couple defenders and will get it to midfield. And he is down there. So after a big loss on the sack, Rush able to pick up maybe a yard on the play. So it'll be third and long now for the Lunkers. We're in the second quarter, 12-7. The Harbor Monsters from Duluth on top. Little in motion. The pitch is in front to Rush, and Rush trying to pass it. He does, gets it to Scruggs. Scruggs gets outside, cuts back in, and is downed near the 15-yard line. That was an interesting play. A double pitch, and you can do that in this 6-on-6 football. Double passes, double pitches, a pitch and then a pass. A lot of different things you can do there. So to bring up a 4th and 8, and I believe they're going to surrender. Timeout. Looks like a timeout for the Lunkers to talk about this. See what they do on this 4th and 8 situation. We will keep it right here as the two coaches. Another thing interesting about the 6-on-6 league, this arena league, the coaches are actually on the field. They're 15 yards behind the players of their respective teams. So the Lunkers defensive coordinator or their offensive coordinator, Cam Bruffett, can be on the field but behind the play 15 yards. And the same for the Harbor Monsters. Their head coach, Tony O'Neill, or their offensive coordinator, Kevin Gregory. They've got Kevin Gregory II and Kevin Gregory III as their assistant coaches. So they can be on the field. They got to be 15 yards behind the play. And be careful while you're out there. So Lunkers appear they're going to go for it on 4th and 8 here. They trail 12-7. Haven't had the offensive firepower that we saw in the first game 2 weeks ago against the Iowa Woo. Marquis Smalls played at Rice, the quarterback for the Lunkers. Being rushed. Still on his feet. He's going to throw it downfield. It is caught. And what are they going to say? Nope, incomplete. Caught and dropped inside the 5-yard line by Scruggs. So that means the Harbor Monsters will take over. I'll tell you, the defensive line of the Harbor Monster really putting some pressure on Smalls and making him speed things up a little more than he would like to. So that's been the key so far in this first half. Now the Harbor Monsters take over again. Javante Johnson, along with his lineman, Peleagas, who is the center, 300-pounder, 6'7", 330-pound on the offensive line. Johnson barks out the signals. Motion man coming forward. Johnson's going to throw it downfield, and it's incomplete. Overthrown, intended for DeJounte Ski. So incomplete pass. And I've got Johnson here unofficially 2 for 7 for 18 yards, but he's missed on his last 3 attempts. Approaching 12 minutes to play in this first half. 2nd and 10. Snap back. Johnson rolls to his right, looking, throws it middle of the field. It is intercepted by the Lunkers at their own 19-yard line. Intercepted by the Lunkers. And they will take over there. That's the first pick by Ozarks. Craig Travis with the interception there. So the Lunkers take over at their own 18-yard line, 1st and 10. So turnovers have been a factor in this first half for both teams. Smalls again. Bertelsmeyer in motion, and we'll have a flag on the play. White Hat making the call here. Byron Pearson is the White Hat. So it goes against the Harbor Monsters. Somebody jumped the gun a little bit too quick there. 1st and 5 now for the Lunkers. Bertelsmeyer in motion. The snap back to Smalls. He fires it middle of the field. It is caught. Low catch, but catch made nonetheless. With the catch is Kendrick Payne. Gets the first down as well. And Smalls now 90 yards passing unofficially. Low snap, he picks it up, throws it short. It is deflected, and are they going to say that is an interception? It is. It was a little forward flip that deflected off the Lunkers and then went into the hands of the Harbor Monsters, and I believe that is Clarence Taylor who picked it off. So the 3rd interception of the game for Smalls. That time a little forward flip, and Taylor able to pick up the deflection, and the Harbor Monsters get it right back. 10:50 to play in the first half. Javante Johnson. He's got a back behind him in the backfield. Motion on the right side. Low snap, a fumble recovered by the Harbor Monsters. The snap again by Peleagas was wide of the quarterback, and he had to dive on top of it before the Lunkers jumped on it. So loss on the play. Here's a pass on the right flat. Caught at the 10 and knocked into the wall right there. That is Cromie with the reception. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 11 now for the Harbor Monsters. They go with 2 wideouts on each side of the ball. Motion man way over And it bounces into the end zone, and it's going to be a safety. Or see what they say here. Goes over the head of the quarterback. And recovered, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Lunkers. Recovered in the end zone. Lunkers back on the board here. Fumble recovery for a touchdown. I didn't see who got that. Jackson Mitchell with the recovery. So Mitchell recovers it. And now the Lunkers going to go for one here. Quick out over on the left side, and they're not going to get it. But Lunkers do take a 1-point lead here in the second quarter, 13-12. And it's been kind of a strange first half. We've got an interception for a touchdown for Duluth to start the game, scoring. 45-yard pass for a score for Duluth. 1-yard run by Ozarks. And then a fumble recovery by Ozarks to take the lead, 13-12. Crazy game. And it will be Harbor Monsters ball. They'll get it thrown to them. We call them throw-offs. Beginning of each half and after every score. So this again will be Kendrick Payne throwing it downfield to Terrence Wenzel. Payne is ready to go. He gets the whistle and he will approach the goal line. Throws it high and angles it towards the goal line. It is caught there by Wenzel. Tries to get outside. He's got some room. Cuts back in, spins around, and is down at the 19-yard line. And that's where the Harbor Monsters will take over. Pretty good coverage that time by the special teams of the Lunkers. Harbor Monsters will take over here. 13-12 our score. Lunkers lead this one. Javante Johnson has played a couple seasons of arena ball. Sioux City, Tri-City there's another ball that's over the head of the quarterback. He picks it up, throws it downfield. It is caught by McAllister, and boy, they're having some issues with the snap by their center, Preliagas. Another one that sailed over the head of Johnson, but he completes the pass, but for a loss. Completes it for a loss on the play. Brings up a second and 11 here. High snap again. Johnson goes up to pick it up. Ball is low. Was it a catch? They say it was. So caught on that one for about 8 yards. On the left side in the flat. Another high snap. Quick hitter is caught. That'll be a first down for the Harbor Monsters. Caught that time by Ski. Ski is 6'1", 203-pounder. I've got Johnson now at 6 for 12 passing, 37 yards unofficially. It is a 1st and 10 here, 6 minutes to play in the half. Motion man on the right side. The give is up the middle. Not much going on there, and there's a little extracurricular activity. That'll go against Anthony Sherrills. After the whistle blew, he knocked down a blocker in the defensive backfield. They will huddle up and talk about this. So that goes against the Lunkers. And it's going to move them 10 yards back defensively. Puts the Harbor Monsters at the Lunkers 5. A little too aggressive that time for Sherrills. In the backfield here is Ski behind the quarterback Johnson. Motion, right side, the give, and that'll be an easy touchdown for Ski from 5 yards out. Ski scores on his second carry of the game. Gets the touchdown there to put the Harbor Monsters on top. 5-yard run by Ski. And see, they're going to go for 2 here. Harbor Monsters lead it 18-13. Approaching 5 minutes to play in the half. Motion on the right side, snap back. They're going to throw it up into the end zone high, and it's incomplete. Pass that time intended for Mo Strong, 6'4", 217-pounder. Tried to go up and get it and couldn't, but Harbor Monsters regained the lead, 18-13 here in the first half. Back and forth we go from the Wilson Logistics Arena in Springfield. The Ozarks Lunkers hosting the Duluth Harbor Monsters in the Arena League. 4:57 to play in the first half. And a throw off here. Throw off, once again, the Harbor Monsters throwing it downfield. Mo Strong to Bertelsmeyer. Both teams, for the most part, doing a pretty good job on special teams on these throw-offs. It's not an easy thing to do 6-on-6. Here's the throw, good one. In the end zone, Bertelsmeyer will pick it up, sees a hole, right side, gets through it, and then is upended at about the 17-yard line. Harbor Monsters quickly converge there. And the Lunkers will take over 1st and 10. At their own 17-yard line, 4:35 to play in the first half, 18-13, Duluth on top. In the backfield, Tobias Little just to the right. They're going to go in tight. Looks like a running play here for the Lunkers. They will give it to Little up the middle. Tobias Little gets it across the 20-yard line down to the 21. So a gain of about 5 for Little on the carry. And it'll be a 2nd and 5 here for the Lunkers. Little will stay in along with Bertelsmeyer in the backfield. Rush will be the wideout on the right side. Bertelsmeyer now on the left for Ozarks. Motion man. Here's a high pitch. The ball is flipped to the Lunkers and hitting the deck on the play. After recovering the fumble was Little. But it should be a loss of a couple there. And it's now going to be 3rd and 8 for Ozarks, 3:15 to play. Ball handling has not been crisp in this first half for either team. We've got some little early contact there by the Harbor Monsters. Lovell Spruce in, getting the center Ticer that time, a little early. And that's going to be assessed against the Harbor Monsters. I love those bright colors, the uniforms that Duluth has, yellow. They got the blue or dark numbers and big numbers on their jerseys. Snap back. Rush rolling to his right. He can pass from out there. Helmet is off for the quarterback. Rush trying to get downfield. He'll be hit into the wall at the 15. And we'll have a flag in the backfield as the quarterback, Smalls, lost his helmet. And they threw the flag when he lost his helmet. Rush then took off downfield. Would have gotten the first down. Let's see what they say here. So they mark it off against the Lunkers. It's going to go all the way back to their own 15. Pick up the flag. So some illegal contact there. 3rd and 14 for the Lunkers here. Snap back. Here comes the rush. They throw it short. Picked up there. Scruggs cuts outside. Nice move to the 20, and he'll be dragged down there. Not enough for the first down, but it was a gain of about 8 on that reception. But it'll bring up 4th down, and we will have our 2-minute warning coming up here. And the players already walking to their bench. So we'll have a 2-minute warning. That means we'll have a timeout as well. The score, Duluth 18, Ozarks 13. This is the Arena League on MeTV.
Do you hear what they called on that play with the helmet off? Offensive holding on Marquise Knowles.
They surrender. They surrender. They did, yeah. So the Lunkers surrender on 4th down, so the Harbor Monsters take over at their own 15, under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Long pass down the field, caught, and into the wall over there for the Harbor Monsters is Mo Strong. First play after they surrender inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal there. Great pass by Javante Johnson. They mark it at the 7-yard line. Here's a snap and a give to the right side. No, not going anywhere that time. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play for Ski. And it'll bring up a 2nd and goal with 1:03 to play in this first half. Offensive squad changing here. They'll go with a 1-back set behind the quarterback. Murray back there offensively. They're going to have a delay of game here as the 20-second play clock expired. Looked like they were going with a wildcat formation, the Harbor Monsters, with Lovell Spruce at quarterback and Josh Murray at running back. So going with the wildcat. Now Austin Gray will check in for the Harbor Monsters. 42 seconds to play in the half. 18-13 our score. Duluth leads it in the second quarter. There's a fake snap. They throw it back. Ball loose. Picked up by the Lunkers. A fumble, and the Lunkers recover. For Ozarks, that is Craig Travis with the recovery. So another turnover in this first half, and the Lunkers will take over with 33 seconds to play in the half. They trail 18-13 to Duluth, but they get the ball back. There has been a number of turnovers by both teams in this half. This will not go down as a how-to first half in the Arena League as far as offensive play. Clock started to tick here, and they may have to change the clock. 33 seconds. They put it back on the clock, so the Lunkers will get it. They started the clock a little premature. Smalls will bring his offensive unit up. Rush on the right side. Scruggs on the left. Remember, the center is eligible. The rush is on. Smalls going to throw it downfield. He gets it to his center. Tyser makes the catch at the 15, and he's down there. Last second throw by Smalls down the field, and the catcher, or the center, Tyser, with the catch for the first down. And a timeout's going to be called here just to get everybody set up. So Smalls over 100 yards passing now. The timeout is called to give the Lunkers a chance to set up their offense here. Now the center is eligible, but it's an interesting situation. He's eligible 5 yards downfield, but he's not eligible inside the 5 near the goal line. So he was eligible there, and that was a big gain by the 5'11", 300-pound center, L. Tyser. And he caught some passes 2 weeks ago as well. He's got good hands. He is a center from Evangel University, which is here in Springfield. Smalls, they'll take another timeout here to talk about this situation. So back-to-back timeouts here. Yep, the center, interesting situation with the center, because they are eligible to receive, but it's got to be 5 yards downfield. 5 yards downfield, except within the 5 yards from the goal line, except within 5 yards from the goal line. So That is interesting. And the other thing about this 6-on-6 football, the quarterback cannot advance the ball past the line of scrimmage unless he either passes it, a double pass, pitches it back, then he becomes a eligible receiver. So there's a lot of things you can do here offensively. Player for the Harbor Monsters trots off the field, jumps over the fence, and we may have another timeout. No. Smalls looks downfield. He gets it to a man and into the end zone for a score. From 15 yards out, scoring on the play for the Lunkers. Just steamrolled a defender there from 15 yards out. Now the Harbor Monsters called time. They tried to get the time, but the official did not grant it to them. See if that counts. They're talking it over right now. They do have sky officials here. The officials are huddled up. They've got the skybox officials here. Byron Pearson is in communication with them so they can watch the replays here. Again, the Harbor Monsters wanted time. It was not granted. I think they were playing with one fewer player defensively. The Lunkers took advantage of it. Smalls pass to Rush, who scores from 15 yards out. And a personal foul is going to be called against the Lunkers after the play. So the touchdown is good, and then the penalty is going to be assessed after the play against the Lunkers. So a 15-yard touchdown pass will give the Lunkers the lead, 19-18. And Ozarks will go for the extra point here, but they'll have to do it from the Harbor Monsters 20-yard line. And we're not sure if they're going for one or two here. They're going for one from the 20-yard line here. The penalty pushed them back. Rush in motion, right side, looks into the end zone. They fire it deep, and it's incomplete. It is no good, but the Lunkers do take the lead. 19-18 here in the first half. After the turnover, that was a key turnover, and we have 13 seconds to play in the first half. So Marquis Smalls, the quarterback for the Lunkers, unofficially 9 for 15 for 140 yards. But he's got 3 interceptions. Does have a TD pass to Rush in the game. We'll run down your numbers coming up at halftime. And we'll have a throw-off coming up here for the Lunkers. Once again, this will be Kendrick Payne. Will throw it downfield, probably be the last play of the first half, most likely. And he will send it down to Wenzel, who is an electric return man. Here it comes. Down the field, a wobbler picked up at the 5. Wenzel trying to get outside, middle of the field now, and he'll be hit at the 12-yard line and down there with 3 seconds to play in the first half. They stopped the clock, so they will get one more play. 3 seconds to play. And the Harbor Monsters will get one more play here before the end of the first half. So they're set to go. And now they blow the whistle. They say it's halftime, but the players stay on the field here. So they're talking it over, and they're going to say that it is halftime. So the players will walk off the field. They're a little surprised by it. Again, new rules this year for everybody, the officials, for the players, for the media, and we're trying to decipher everything. But it is halftime, and the Lunkers lead Duluth by a score of 19-18 here at half. So we will take a break. When we come back, we will run down your first half numbers. Again, it is the Arena League on MeTV. Welcome back once again to Wilson Logistics Arena. We're at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri. It's on the north side of Springfield. This is game 2 for both the Duluth Harbor Monsters and the Ozarks Lunkers. Duluth comes in 0-1 on the season. Ozarks is 1-0. We're at the half of this game, and right now Ozarks on top, 19-18. Not a pretty first half of football, as we witnessed a couple weeks ago, but a 1-point lead for the Lunkers, 19-18, and we'll kind of recap what we have witnessed here in this game. But hey, how about at first a big hello to the folks watching in Duluth or the Duluth area. I know the general manager of the Harbor Monsters, Stephen Walters, and his crew are watching. They've got a big watch party going on for tonight's game, and they're getting set for their match next Sunday. They take on Kansas City next Sunday, and if you're interested in attending that game, you can go to online DuluthMonsters.com to buy your tickets. Again, they host Kansas City. Appears to be in pretty good shape after a couple of games this season. They play them next Sunday, and that'll be, again, at the home arena of the Harbor Monsters Deck Arena. And again, a big hello to the group that Stephen Walters is hosting in the Minnesota area. Stephen, he's been a sales and marketing guy for some 13 years and a big arena football fan, so I'm glad he's tuning in tonight. Wish he could be here to join us here at halftime. We do want to mention the Duluth group is owned by Brent LeBry, the CEO of High Tech Finishing and Kramer Service Group. They do a lot of drag racing events. They sponsor a lot of drag racing events there. So hopefully Brent is tuned in as well tonight. You got to like what you see so far in tonight's game. The exhibition game, Duluth knocked out a up one athletic team by a score of 86-34. That was an exhibition game 3 weeks ago. And then last week they lost to the Kansas City Goats 77-52. Where they get them back next week at home. That's a Sunday game at the Deck. So good luck in that one. For the Ozarks Lunkers next week, they will be at Iowa. They take on the Woo next week. The two games, Kansas City at Duluth and Ozarks at Iowa. Tonight's other game, by the way, Iowa is at Kansas City. So that's the other game in the league. Heading into tonight's action in the Arena League, the Kansas City Goats were 2-0, the Lunkers 1-0, Duluth 0-1, and the Iowa Woo are 0-2 heading into tonight's action. 2 weeks ago, there was a specialist, a player of the week honored by the Lunkers. That was Brock Carter, who had 12 tackles in the game against the Woo. That was 2 weeks ago. 2 of those for loss. He had an interception and a touchdown. So congratulations to Brock Carter. And we should also mention the play of the Lunkers specialist, Ronnie Bertelsmeyer, who had 4 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 from 2 yards out, 1 from 1 yard out, and then scored on 2 returns in the game as well. So Bertelsmeyer, the offensive star of the first win for the Lunkers, while the defensive star most definitely was Brock Carter. And for the Duluth Harbor Monsters, they got a great game out of Terrence Wenzel, who had 2 TDs and 2 interceptions in the game against the Goats. So Wenzel, and we could see his talent on display tonight as a return man. He's done a little bit of everything for Duluth in this game tonight as well. Halftime score 19-18. We're going to take another timeout. When we come back, we'll kind of run down the scoring for these two teams. We had really hoped to talk with either Stephen Walters or the owner of the Harbor Monsters here at halftime, and unfortunately neither could make it, Brent LeBry or Stephen Walters. So we'll go ahead and recap the first half of tonight's matchup. We'll run down your first half numbers as well, the stats. We'll do that when we come back. We are once again at Wilson Logistics Arena, the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield. It is 19-18 here at the half. Ozark on top of Duluth. We'll take another break. It is the Arena League on MeTV.
I started working at SRC in 2018. Very team driven, and everybody has a place, everybody has a role. Being an employee owner is just more than just being an employee and just being a number. You actually have a voice, and you actually use that voice. The opportunity is the sky. I feel like anything you want to be, you can be. You just have to, you gotta have the gotta want attitude. My name is Shamari, and I'm an owner of SRC.
a really awesome game. It's called the Zoo Game Bear Crawl. All right, the sponsors are Biggest Park Zoo Bear Crawl Game. Welcome to the zookeepers, Matt Corey and Theo Fletcher over here. Now here's the expected, guys. Are you guys ready? Okay, what we're going to have to do is get you to get on all fours. There's a bear crawl, get on all fours. Hands and feet, knees off the ground. As the first person to get over there.
And welcome back to Wilson Logistics Arena. Tom Ladd with you on this Saturday evening. It is a Father's Day weekend, and they've got a lot going on for Father's Day this week. And matter of fact, some giveaways for the Lunkers. Throughout a couple of those here tonight. Always got to have a lot of great promotions and kind of see on the screen some of the kids playing at the middle of the field right now, the Lunkers field. And do a lot of that. Keep the kids involved for sure here. Princess parade before the game. They had Princess here at halftime last game. So they really try to keep the kids engaged, and that's a big part of what the Arena League is all about. But it is Father's Day weekend, which means they've got some gifts for fathers here, some different packages. One is a Sportsland pickup cover and trail sales Trick Your Truck package, which includes a spray-in bed liner, leveling kit, and 20-inch tire or wheel package. That's one giveaway they'll have tonight. Another is from Grips Golf and Club Repair LLC. They have a custom set of irons that they're giving away tonight. And another package they're giving away for Father's Day is a chopper charter helicopter ride. That's right, helicopter ride in a chopper from Chopper Charter. Anyway, the name of the company. Sounds like a great gift as well. So some Father's Day packages for the fans here, and a good crowd. They had about 3,500, 3,400 at the first game 2 weeks ago, and they'll be close to that, I think, here tonight. They got in here at different times, and I think the crew for the Arena League and the Ozarks Lunkers were a little better prepared for a larger crowd. They had more concession stands set up for the crowd. They also had more ticket booths set up. And an interesting thing, you can see the walls there that they have outside of the field, the padded walls. Those are brand new. The walls and the pads, brand new this week. They had to borrow pads and walls from other Arena League teams in their first game just because these did not show up in time for the first game for the Lunkers 2 weeks ago. So you can see the red pads a little thicker than the ones they used 2 weeks ago, and I think a little more sturdy as well. Obviously, they kept the signage and everything that they have on the outside of the walls. They still have the suites for the fans going outside of the walls, and that makes it a lot more personable for the fans attending the Arena League games here in Springfield anyway, where they're sitting right on the action. And they get a little contact, some of the tackles right there in their booth or below them, and footballs will fly into the crowd as well, and you can keep the footballs in the Arena League. So they gave away quite a few of those 2 weeks ago, and I think they will again tonight as well. One more time, I do want to mention that the Duluth Harbor Monsters will have another game coming up next Sunday, and if you'd like to attend that game against Kansas City, go online to DuluthMonsters.com to get your tickets for that. I'm sure it's going to be a great show. So if you're in the Duluth area, you want to attend a Harbor Monsters game, watch Javante Johnson or Terrence Wenzel or any of these guys, DeJounte Ski, some of the talent that they have on display for the Harbor Monsters. Go to their website, DuluthMonsters.com, or if you'd like to attend a future Lunkers game, make sure you go to their website and pick up tickets as well. Next week, these teams will be back in action, as we had mentioned. The Lunkers will be at Iowa against the Woo, while the Harbor Monsters host Kansas City on Sunday. Tonight, Iowa is playing at Kansas City. All right, let's take a look at some stats from this first half. And the stats look like this. We'll start off with the Lunkers. Neither team has really run the ball much in this first half. Matt Rush, 2 carries, 13 yards. This is unofficial, obviously. Ronnie Bertelsmeyer, 1 carry, 5 yards. Tobias Little, 2 carries, 3 yards. And Smalls, the quarterback, 1 carry. He was sacked for 7 yards, a loss there. Smalls passing, 9 for 14 for 140 yards and a TD, but he's thrown 3 interceptions in the game. For the Harbor Monsters, Murray has 2 of those interceptions, Josh Murray, and the other one was by Taylor. Clarence Taylor picked off the other pass. So Smalls unofficially 140 yards passing, 9 for 14, but he's thrown for 3 interceptions. Let's take a look at Duluth. They have not run the ball much either. Ski, 2 carries, 14 yards. He does have a TD on the ground. For Javante Johnson, he is 7 for 13 for 74 yards passing, but he's thrown 1 interception, and they have 2 fumbles in the first half as well. So they've turned it over 3 times through the air, 1 catch and fumble, and another catch and fumble. The interception was picked off by the Lunkers' Craig Travis with the interception. So 74 yards unofficially through the air for Javante Johnson on 7 for 13 passing. So that's what it looks like offensively. Scoring-wise, Duluth got on the board first, scored the first touchdown on a 20-yard interception return by Murray, scored the touchdown. That is Josh Murray. Duluth scored the second touchdown of the game as well on a 45-yard pass from Johnson to Mo Strong. Made it 12-0 at that point, 6:58 to play in the opening quarter. Ozarks scored their first touchdown on a 1-yard run by Ronnie Bertelsmeyer. The 2-point conversion was good. Actually, it's a 1-point conversion, was good. And it made the score 12-7. And then they scored on a fumble recovery in the end zone by Mitchell. The 1-point conversion, no good. It made it 13-12. Ozarks led. Duluth came back and scored on a 5-yard run by Ski. 2-point conversion, no good. Made it 18-13 Duluth. And then the final score of the first half was by the Lunkers. A 15-yard pass from Smalls to Matt Rush. 1-point conversion, no good. Made the score 19-18, and that's where we're at right now. Lunkers on top, 19-18. We're going to take our final break of the half. Again, we are at half at the Wilson Logistics Arena. It is 19-18. Lunkers on top of the Duluth Harbor Monsters. We will take a break and bring you the second half of tonight's matchup here in the Arena League. It is the Arena League here on MeTV.
Beauty and functionality to your home with Pella Windows and Doors. With Pella, you get so much more than stunning windows, patio doors, and entry doors. We go beyond to design and manufacture quality products that exceed your expectations. Whether you are building your dream home, remodeling, or just needing to replace your current windows or doors, we have the right product for any home and every budget. Come visit our showroom or schedule your in-home appointment today. 448 West Battlefield or visit PellaSpringfield.com.
On top of the Harbor Monsters, teams making their way onto the field here. The Lunkers are loosening on the far end right now, and the Harbor Monsters about to make their way onto the field as well. The officiating crew, led by their white hat, Byron Pearson, along with Jason Jackson and Gary McElray onto the field. It's interesting, they also have skybox judges as well as they come up to join us here in the press area. Luke Shawhan and Brian Whittick are the officials here tonight and doing a great job. Love the skybox officials because they're helping us out, and it's interesting to be able to talk to them. I think the officials are waiting for the Harbor Monsters to make their way onto the field. They look into the stands to see where they're at, and they're nowhere to be seen at this point, but waiting for them to come on to the field here. 19-18 is the halftime score. The Ozarks Lunkers lead it. Ozarks beat the Iowa Woo in Game 1, 69-40. Ronnie Bertelsmeyer had 2 rushing TDs and 2 return TDs in that contest, while Duluth lost to the Kansas City Goats 77-52. Terrence Winsel with 2 TDs and 2 interceptions in the game. So the players on the field now, and we're just about set for the final 2 quarters of this one. Give the players a chance to get loose before they start things in the second half. Hopefully you're enjoying this one tonight. Lunkers will be back in action here in a couple of weeks. They travel for the first time this season next week to Waterloo, Iowa. We'll see how things go on the road for the first time for the Lunkers. Officials ready to go. Both teams getting loose. The fans think they've enjoyed themselves through a game and a half of the Arena League. By the way, the Arena League commissioner and chairman is Tim Brown. In case you didn't know, Tim, former Heisman Trophy winner at Notre Dame, a one-time NFL great receiver, return man. He leads the Arena League. Deputy commissioner is Ronnie Davis, and the director of officials, Michael Kubin. They have just recently added, there was an announcement here recently, they've added 2 teams for next year. Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Be 2 new teams in the Arena League next season. That'll be interesting for sure. Tell you a little bit about Wilson Logistics Arena. Again, the football field's 50 yards long by 85 feet wide. Again, it seats normally 6,300, but for football, it'll be about 4,500 because they've traded in one end zone for the media area, so they don't have enough seats there. So about 4,500 seats available for football. It is a 100,000 square foot facility. They have trade shows here, concerts, sporting events, horse shows. There's a bar and grill here that will seat 130. They've got remote concession stands. They also have a VIP club here that is private for about 300 people. So this is really a beautiful facility. Arena. You can do a lot of things in this arena, and again, it seats about 6,300 when all the stands are out, and they have some events here, and I'm anxious to see some different events in this facility down the road. Again, the Harbor Monsters play their games, of course, at Deck Arena. Other facilities, of course, for Iowa, they play their games at the Hippodrome. Kansas City Goats will play their games at Municipal Arena. So it looks like we're set and ready to go for the second half of this one. Hope you enjoy it here on Me TV. Looks like Harbor Monsters will throw it away. They will throw it off to the Lunkers. It's called a throw-off, beginning of each half. And after scores, Mo Strong, 6'4", 217-pounder, will throw it downfield for the Harbor Monsters. Ronnie Bertelsmeyer waits at the goal line for the Lunkers. There's the whistle and a throw. It'll bounce, picked up by Bertelsmeyer at the goal line. He's stopped but gets up. Good second effort by Bertelsmeyer, and then he is dragged down at about the 18-yard line. So good return there by Bertelsmeyer as he gets up, and a good second effort. And the Lunkers have the ball here in this third quarter, leading 19-18. See how the Lunkers set up on their first possession in the second half. Tyser, the fullback, looks like they've got their running formation here. They're in tight. Rush in the backfield. This be a running play here. They pitch it back. No, he rolls Rush. Throws it short. It is caught and down at about the 10-yard marker for a first down. That is caught on the play by Kendrick Payne. So enough for a first down. And that was Rush, the quarterback there. Here's another time they get it back to Rush. Rush will fire a bullet. It is caught by Tyser on his knees. He catches it at the 15-yard line. And what are they going to say? Complete or incomplete? Nope, incomplete pass that time by Rush. So Tyser, little low throw that time by Rush, who's in the backfield for the Lunkers. He is the money quarterback is what they call him. He can run, he can pass, he goes in motion here. Snap back. They go to the middleman. They had caught at the 13-yard line and down there. Once again, that is Payne with the reception for 8 yards. Six-on-six football. It's exciting. They spread you out. They can run off of it. Again, the quarterback Smalls with Rush behind him. They switch up the formation a little bit. Fake the handoff, rolls to his right. He'll throw it deep, and it is overthrown and caught by a fan. A fan with a nice catch. Well beyond, and he is celebrating. That's the best celebration of the night. We didn't get that on camera, but you can see the reaction of some of the fans. They love that. So it brings up a 4th and short here. Smalls, motion man, coming in. The give is to the running back. This is Tobias Little. He'll get the first down across the 10 down to the 9. So Little with the carry there, able to pick up just enough for the Lunkers' first down. First and goal for the Lunkers here. Little, a product of Missouri State. He also played at Louisville before transferring to Missouri State. They got the running formation again, but Rush, throw it short. It is caught inside the 10 again by Little, and he will be stopped after a gain of about 1. Passing attack for the Lunkers are 12 of 19 for 159 yards, unofficial numbers. Second and goal, the ball at the 7 of the Harbor Monsters here. Third quarter action, 10:55 to play in the quarter. Smalls, he's got some pressure. Oh, nice block there. Pass into the end zone. It is caught and scored. Chris Scruggs jumping up in the middle of the end zone for the touchdown from 7 yards out. A bullet that time by Smalls. It's his second TD pass of the game. And the Lunkers here are going to go for one. Going to go for one here. Snap back. Smalls rolls to his left, throws it high in the end zone. It is intercepted. Again, intercepted on the play by Murray. Murray still on his feet, pitches back to a teammate, Wenzel, and Wenzel's going to be gone. Wenzel's going to be gone, intercepted on the 1-point conversion and returned on the play for the Harbor Monsters. The pitch back to Wenzel. That's a 1-point score for the Harbor Monsters, so they do get 1 point on the interception on the 1-point conversion. And then the return. And the score by Wenzel. So that makes it now 25-20. Ozarks on top. So I got Smalls again. They've got two different quarterbacks throwing, but Smalls 10 for 13, 162 yards passing in the game. And again, Rush has thrown the ball a couple times too. So the 1-point conversion scored on the return by the Harbor Monsters after the score by the Lunkers. So it was 25-19 Ozarks after their touchdown on the 7-yard pass from Smalls to Scruggs. And then the return by the Harbor Monsters gives them 1 point on that. So it makes it 25-20. And Wenzel will, well, they've got it 25-19. Oh, 25-19 is the score. So he took off a point on the scoreboard. Yep, 1 point on that. So they gave him 2 and checked the scoreboard there, and it's down to 1. So 25-19 the score. Lunkers lead it. Again, we're working through everything. New league, new team. We're all working through it. Here's a throw off by the Lunkers, caught by Wenzel, and Wenzel, about 5 yards, and great defense there by the Lunkers. Josh Evans pressuring on the play, making the stop, and the Harbor Monsters will take over. Trailing by 6 here in the third quarter. 9:07 to play as Johnson has his team set. Strong to the left, in motion right side is Cromie. Johnson fires it into the stands, a bullet incomplete. So he is unofficially 7 for 14 for 74 yards. Again, unofficial numbers. Motion man, and he went a little bit early. They're going to blow the play dead as the motion man. And again, you can motion a couple of different ways offensively. You can motion lateral or forward. That time the Harbor Monsters motion forward and leaving a little bit too early. Crossing the line of scrimmage was Nathan Cromie a little bit too early, and that'll be a penalty against the Harbor Monsters. So it's 2nd and 15 at their own 5. Cromie's wide right, along with Strong. Snap back. Johnson in the end zone. He's going to throw it downfield, and little early contact there, incomplete. Pushed on the play, but no foul. Incomplete. Pass intended for Strong. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 15 now for the Harbor Monsters. A good defense by the Lunkers defensively. Again, you can go man-to-man, you can go zone coverage, you can put some pressure on, blitz, stunt. Here's a pass, middle of the field, wide open, ball is caught by Cromie at midfield and across midfield down to about the 20-yard line. 30-yard reception there. And it'll bring up a 1st and 10 now for the Harbor Monsters. They do get it across midfield at the 24, they say, when he was down. Here's the give to Murray. Murray tries to get outside to the left. He is tripped up at around the 20 down to the 17-yard line before he stopped. That'll be a gain of about 6 for Murray. It'll bring up 2nd and 3. 6:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. 25-19, Lunkers on top of the Monsters. Man in the backfield. Again, this is Murray. Murray looks to pass. He's going to throw, and it is incomplete. Nobody out there as Murray is thrown into the stands. So incomplete pass there. And it brings up a 3rd and 3 now for the Harbor Monsters. Are they going to surrender here? Nope. They're going to go for 3rd and 3. They can surrender on 4th down. Looked like there was a change of possession. There was not. Motion man, right side. Here's a quick toss on the right. Caught by the Harbor Monsters. That looks like Ski. And Ski will be bottled up inside the 10 at around the 7-yard line. So 1st down there for the Harbor Monsters. First and goal for Duluth. They can tie it up with a touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. In the backfield, Murray behind the quarterback. Both teams making some offensive adjustments here in the 2nd half using the running back right up the middle and jumping over and down at the they're going to say he's in. So Murray scores. Murray scores from 7 yards out, and we are tied here. We are tied at 25, and we'll see what the Harbor Monsters do here. They can break the tie on this extra point. Snap over the head of the quarterback, and the ball still loose, picked up by the Lunkers, and they're going to score with the return, much like earlier in the game, the score by Brock Carter. And the Lunkers regain the lead 26-25. And we will take a break. This is the Arena League on MeTV.
a rush of tournament adrenaline. Nitro, the choice of champion, where performance meets play. Nitro, a big water beast, a pure fishing machine. Nitro, release the champion within.
Is that Carter?
3, 2, 1, go! Come on, cheer on, your ice cold shirt, big worm. Big worm, what do you got? Oh, I see calm, smooth, and steady. Is it cold? Cold? You are the winner of Fire Ice Rose Kingdom Contest. Everybody, get it up for Ryan! All right, guys, get up your Ozarks Lunkers. Let's play some more football.
Might look at Kendrick Payne. He's having a pretty good game so far. 6 receptions for 87 yards.
Wow. Tom Ladd back with you at Wilson Logistics Arena in Springfield. A 1-point Lunkers lead in the third quarter, 26-25. Lunkers will get the ball back, so a fumble on the extra point leads to the go-ahead point for the Lunkers, 26-25. Here's a return by the Lunkers. Bertelsmeyer on his feet, stiff arm, and is down across midfield to about the 21-yard line, and that's where the Lunkers will take over. 21 of the Harbor Monsters. So the Lunkers get it. Another nice return by Bertelsmeyer. 4:03 to play in this third quarter. So we've had 2 returns on extra points for scores for the opposing team. One by the Harbor Monsters in the first half, and one by the Lunkers here in the second half. Snap back, here's a pitch. The rush is on by the Harbor Monsters. They throw it downfield, it's intercepted. Intercepted again by the Harbor Monsters. That's Josh Murray. 5'11", 171-pounder who played at Texas Southern. Picks off another pass. That's his third of the game, according to my records. So Murray having a great game defensively for the Harbor Monsters. He gets the pick there, and they get the ball back. Johnson with the snap. Pass right side, caught by Strong. Strong jumping forward, and he'll get it to around the 10-yard line. 20-yard reception there. And it'll bring up a 1st and goal. Well, not really. 1st and 10. It looks like they could get a first down inside the 1. Snap back. Here's the give to Murray up the middle. Murray is down at around the 8-yard line, tackled there by the Lunkers. So Murray with 3 carries, 14 yards. Trotting onto the field is DeJounte Ski in the backfield. He'll go to the wingback right side for the Harbor Monsters. Motion man will be Cromie again on the right side. Here's a pass, left side, caught, but going nowhere over there, about the 5-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play on that reception. Third and goal now for Duluth. They spread it out. Johnson, motion man, fires it right side, caught for the touchdown. Got it in the hands of Ski, and Ski scores from 5 yards out. So Duluth regains the lead here in this third quarter on a 5-yard scoring strike by Johnson to Ski. And they're going to go for one here. They lead at 31-26. Motion man right side. Johnson rolls to his right, passes into the end zone. It is incomplete. Good D there by the Lunkers. So with that scoring strike, it's 31-26 now. Duluth on top in this third quarter. And the Lunkers will get it back. A little more scoring here to start this third quarter. It was 19-18 at halftime, so the offense for both teams picked up a little bit. In the locker room at halftime, some adjustments made by the coaches, Cam Bruffett and also Tony O'Neill. And both teams offensively have mixed in the running back behind the quarterback. Little I formation situation in shotgun. And they're using that guy to kind of offset some of the pressure they're getting defensively from the defensive line. Strong will throw it downfield. Throw off here. Goes deep. It is caught by Bertelsmeyer near the goal line. Dives forward and gets it across the 15 to the 16-yard line, and that's where the Lunkers will take over here with 1:10 to play in the third quarter. It is a 5-point Duluth lead, 31-26. This may be a game that the last one that has the football wins the game, because it's back and forth between these two teams here in the Arena League. Smalls, motion man, the give. On the left side is caught there, but a very short gain. Very short gain on that quick in, about 4. 2nd and 6 for the Lunkers. Snap, they go left again. Caught over there, and that'll be enough for a first down. They move the chains. Ball caught that time by Payne. Payne's having a great game for Ozarks, and that's going to be the end of the quarter. Duluth on top, 31-26. This is the Arena League on MeTV. We're back at Wilson Logistics Arena, the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. Tom Ladd with you in Springfield. Lunkers change ends now. They go the opposite way. Motion man rush to his right. Low snap. Pitch. Bertelsmeyer, I believe, diving forward. It was Ronnie Bertelsmeyer with the catch there. And a gain of about 5 on that little pitch from Smalls to Bertelsmeyer. Did get an update from the other game in the league. It is Kansas City beating the Woo 39-26 with about 12 minutes left in that game. Here's Rush rolling to his right, and he's going to fall down. He had the pressure coming at him hard defensively, and that's one thing about this Duluth team. They have really pressured the quarterback very well in this game. That was Willie McCaleb, a linebacker, 5'9", but he is a speedster with Lovell Spruce in there, and he's been in there all game long. Big loss that time for the Lunkers. Snap back. Rolling to his left. Here's a throw the other way, and it is a little bit low. Incomplete pass there. And it brings up a 4th and long now, and I believe the Lunkers will surrender. So again, on 4th down, you can surrender. And when that happens, the opposing team takes over at its own 15-yard line. So the Lunkers decide to surrender, which means the Harbor Monsters get it at their own 15. Instead of the Lunkers going for it, they surrender. And that's happened a couple times in this game. It is 31-26. Duluth leads it here in the 4th quarter. We have 13:25 to play. Duluth with the ball. Johnson by himself in the backfield. He's going to throw it downfield. It is caught. And that'll be enough for a 1st down. Big hit there by the Lunkers. That was Sherrills with the hit, but a gain of 14 on that one. So I've got the Harbor Monsters with about 150 yards passing unofficially in the game. Johnson being rushed, rolls. He'll throw short. It is caught and then brought down inside the 10. Caught that time by the tight end. That is Ladarian McAllister with the catch for the Harbor Monsters. Here's another quick hitter, and a flag going to be thrown against the Lunkers. May have been a holding call. We'll see. That went to Ski. And offensive holding is a call against the Harbor Monsters there. Flag will drop Duluth back a few yards. So it brings up a 1st and goal, but all the way back to the 17-yard line now are the Harbor Monsters. They lead this game 31-26 here in the 4th quarter on the road. Johnson sets his team, motion to the right. Pass goes short. It is caught by Strong with one hand, makes the catch at the 15, hangs on to it, bobbles it a little bit, and down at the 10. Heck of an acrobatic catch there. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 10 for the Harbor Monsters. Under 12 minutes to play in the game. Snap back. Johnson rolls to his right. He throws it short. Ball is caught there by Ski. Ski on his feet and then down at the 6-yard line. So it'll bring up 3rd and goal now. Gain of about 3 on that one. 3rd and goal. Play shuttled in by the head coach or the offensive coordinator, which is Kevin Gregory II, from behind the play. I formation. Wenzel is behind the quarterback, and now we're going to have a timeout called by the Lunkers with 11:05 to play in the contest. Well, this second half has been extremely better played than the first. Quite a few left. See what the Harbor Monsters do here offensively. They've gone with the running back a few times in the backfield. Josh Murray, who's also a defensive back. They have Wenzel out there. Tight end. They'll have a lone setback, and they'll spread it out offensively. 2 wide receivers on the left. Wenzel on the right of the quarterback. Johnson. Wenzel goes in motion. The pitch to him. Tries to get outside. Spins and is hit hard and dropped on the play. Big stick there by Anthony Sherrills. So it'll be 4th and goal at the 3-yard line. 4th and goal at the 3 for the Harbor Monsters. Big play here. They did not get the play off. They did not get the play off. They're going to say timeout as I saw the play clock wind down on the far side of the field, and they say that they got the timeout in time. Boy, you could feel the air being let out here of this arena. So they will take the timeout on the field with 10:33 to play in the game, 31-26. Big play here. 4th and goal at the Lunkers 3. See what kind of formation the Harbor Monsters come with here. All by himself in the backfield is a quarterback, Johnson. 2 wide receivers to the right, Cromie and also Ski to the right. 1 to the left. Snap back. They're going to throw it into the end zone, and they throw it behind the intended receiver. Incomplete. Intended for Cromie. Incomplete. And the Lunkers will take over here in the 4th quarter with 10:33 to play. They trail by 5, 31-26. So the Lunkers get it back. Big possession for them here. A lot of time on the clock. But again, it's a running clock. So remember that. Lunkers get it at their own 3. They've got Tobias Little behind the quarterback. Marquis Smalls. Little gets the carry, and he'll get it across the 5 to the 6-yard line. So little possession football here for the Lunkers. They're going to keep Little in there, but he will be used as a wide receiver here. Rush on the left side. Little goes in motion to the left. Now in motion is Rush. They go short instead. It is caught and down at the 20-yard line for a first down. Gain of 15 on that reception. So Smalls and the Lunkers pretty close to 200 yards passing in the game. 1st and 10 here. Little in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. Tries to get outside to the left. Still on his feet. And finally knocked against the wall. But he keeps his feet moving and gets the first down. He moves the chains. 1st and 10 for Ozark. They trail 31-26, under 9 minutes to play. Running clock. There's a 20-second play clock. Now Matt Rush in the backfield behind the quarterback. He goes in a motion to the right. They throw short to the quarterback. Tyser makes the catch. And now a flag thrown in the backfield where the quarterback and a defender were mixing it up. Spruce. So that ball was caught by the center. And again, we talked about the center. He can't catch it unless it's at least 5 yards out. We need to take a break here, and we will do it. 31-26 our score, Duluth. This is Arena League on ME TV.
Offsetting fouls. There was personal foul on the defense. We are not ready here in 20 seconds.
Your swing is one of a kind. Shouldn't your clubs be too? At Griff's Golf, we craft the ultimate golf experience through custom fittings. Our expert fitters use the latest technology to analyze every aspect of your swing. With brands such as Callaway, Ping, and Titleist, we carry over 100,000 combinations to help unlock your true potential. From shaft dynamics to head design, we create clubs uniquely tailored to
the Lunkers. The give is to Little, and Little is hit right at the line of scrimmage and downed there. Good defense once again by the Harbor Monsters. That's McCaleb getting in, getting some pressure against the Lunkers. No gain on the play for Little. Brings up a second and actually a loss on the play there. Smalls takes a snap, rolls to his left, Looking downfield, he'll throw it short, and it's incomplete, intended on the play for Kendrick Payne. But again, that pressure that the Harbor Monsters on the defensive line is really giving Small some problems. They're sending a couple of players just about every play. Spruce, one of those guys. McCaleb, another. Really doing a good job putting pressure on the Lunkers. Here comes Spruce again. Pass is nearly picked off, incomplete on 3rd and 12. Boy, a big situation here. It'll bring up a 4th down now for the Lunkers. So see what they do here, trailing by 5. Key play of the match right here. Smalls, he's got little in the game. Send rush to the left. Here's a high snap. Ball is caught inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line, but did not get enough for the first down. Harbor Monsters hold. Gain of about 7 or 8, and maybe an injured player on the field. Slow getting up anyway. The receiver for the Lunkers. Still on the turf there. As the clock stops with 6:52 to play. Maybe Plummer that is down after making that catch. But change of possession. Harbor Monsters will get the ball. They work on the injured player right now. 6:52 to play. Duluth football. See what they do here offensively. They huddle up and talk with their offensive coordinator. And the injured player up and will need some assistance, but will hop off the field right now. So here come the Harbor Monsters. In the backfield by himself is Johnson. Motion man to his right. Here's a high snap picked up by Johnson, and they blow it dead. And it'll be movement against the Harbor Monsters, so a penalty against the visiting team here. False start is the call. Pushes them back halfway to the goal line. They have it at their own 3 now. Johnson, not a lot of room back there. Low snap this time, and another penalty against the Harbor Monsters. So it'll be at the 1.5, and boy, there's some upset players from Duluth right now. Football back to the 1-yard line, within the 1-yard line. First and long for Duluth. Johnson directing traffic. And time's going to be called. 6:35 to play in the contest. Going the wrong way. That's what Duluth is doing right now. Head coach Tony O'Neill and their offensive coordinator Kevin Gregory II not happy with what's going on. And they've been barking at the officials as well. Byron Pearson called the 2 offensive penalties against them. Again, 6:35 to play. They're in communication with the Sky judges here. Right to my left, which is nice to have in the press box. We're actually behind where you see the Lunkers there defensively. We're on that end of the field, and that's where the sky judges are as well. So here we go. So the Harbor Monsters ready to go from Duluth. Lunkers going to look at putting some pressure on. Johnson rolling to his right. He throws it short. It is caught at about the 10 and down there by Mo Strong. Strong coming from the right side into the picture to make the catch. So that was a gain of about 10 on the play. Johnson, play clock down to 6, takes the snap, rolls to his right, got plenty of time. Strong again, makes the catch, and he is out right at midfield. So the Harbor Monsters going with the short game right now, and it's been effective. They lead it 31-26. Sub coming in for the Lunkers. Johnson takes the snap, again rolls to his right, throws it the other side of the field. Caught over there. And then pounded into the wall. That is McAllister, the receiver. Again, these short passes been very effective for the Harbor Monsters here. Moving downfield. Under 5 minutes to play. High snap. Johnson goes, and it is caught by Cromie. He gets out of bounds at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for Duluth. Johnson behind center, rolls to his right. He goes short again. Ball is incomplete, in and out of the hands of McAllister. 2nd and 10 now for Duluth as we approach 4 minutes to play in the game. 5-point lead for the Harbor Monsters. Time management is key. Up 5. High snap. Johnson looking. He's got time. Looking. Rolls to his right now. Throws it short, and it's incomplete again. Intended for McAllister. Brings up 3rd and 10 for Duluth. 3.5 minutes to play. Big play here. Got some of their playmakers in the game right now. Wenzel is in there. Pass left side, caught inside the 5. All alone in there is Cromie. Cromie making the catch. And that's going to be enough for a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for Duluth. Huge play there, and a bullet thrown by the quarterback, Johnson. Javante Johnson. Huge play. In the backfield is Josh Murray. Behind the quarterback, the give is to Murray, and he's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. Defensively, that is Craig Travis who got in there and made the stop behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 5. 2:26 to play. 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line. Murray stays in. He'll go to the right of the quarterback now. Snap back to Johnson. Johnson looking, he's going to fire it up in the air. Ball is incomplete. Intended for Strong, the 6'4", 217-pounder. 2-minute warning here, and we will take a break with Duluth on top of the Lunkers, 31-26. It's the Arena League on Me TV.
All right, fans, one more time. Here come the Lady Lures.
(31-26), the Harbor Monsters on top of the Lunkers. Big play here, 3rd and goal at the 8-yard line. Johnson rolling to his right, still on his feet, goes back the other way, being chased. He's going to fire it into the end zone. It is caught. They're going to say touchdown from 7 yards out. Caught in the end zone for the touchdown. That is Ski, but there's a flag in the backfield. There's a flag in the backfield. Let's see what they say here. Before we signal that one, they're going to huddle up here. I don't know if it was after the touchdown or during. Touchdown is good by the Harbor Monsters. They score from 7 yards out. Pass from Johnson. So the touchdown is good to Ski. And then there was a penalty afterwards, unsportsmanlike conduct afterwards against the Harbor Monsters. So they're going to go for 1, but they'll be pushed back. 1:47 to play. Makes the score now 37-26 Duluth. Well, a huge play there. Duluth was up 5. Moved down the field with a relentless short passing attack and pushed it in on the 7-yard pass from Johnson to Ski. It's a 1-point conversion here. Johnson going to fire it into the end zone, and it is caught for the extra point. So the 1-point conversion good, caught in there by Cromie. Makes it 38-26 Duluth. Here in the fourth quarter, Duluth with a, well, wait a minute, there's a flag on the play. They haven't put it on the scoreboard here yet. We'll see if they do. They're going to have to do it again, a flag on the play, so they take it off. So now they have to do it from their own 20. The 1-point conversion here. Lunkers will play deep defensively. Snap to Johnson. Crossing routes. They're going to fire it into the end zone, and it's going to be caught anyway. Caught on the play by Mo Strong as they throw it up in the air, and he outleaps the defender for the score. So it is, in fact, 38-26 with 1:18 to play. Duluth with the lead as they start to celebrate here. The final minute and 18. Again next week, it is Ozarks playing at Iowa against the Woo, while Duluth on Sunday will host Kansas City. Hopefully the fans enjoying the game in the Duluth area tonight. I'm sure they are, up 38-26 over the Lunkers. Again, you can get tickets for that game next Sunday at DuluthMonsters.com. Next home game for the Harbor Monsters. Throw off here. We'll recap this one quickly after the game. So not much of a post-game show, but we'll recap it real quickly, give you the final score. The throw off. And it, of course, hits the ceiling again, as it did to start the game. And the Lunkers will get it back. It's tough because I wouldn't say this is an extremely low ceiling, but when you got to throw it 50 yards, anybody to throw the football 50 yards is tough. But you want to get a little elevation under your throw, and they didn't that time, so the Lunkers will get it at midfield with 1:18 to play. Smalls brings his team out. He's got Little in the backfield, motion to the right. Smalls fires it. It is caught. Bertelsmeyer cuts in, still on his feet inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line before he is stopped. So a gain of 22 for Bertelsmeyer from Smalls. First and goal here. Here's a give to Little. Little trying to get outside and into the end zone. He's pushed into the wall over there and did not get in. Timeout is called. So timeout for the Lunkers with 47 seconds to play. So timeout here. One of the Harbor Monsters getting up rather slowly by the wall over there. Appears to be okay. Will hop over the wall and make his way into the stands, into the suite area, and over to his bench area. So a timeout with 47 seconds to play. And again, Duluth leads at 38-26 at halftime. The Lunkers led 19-18. But Duluth with a big second half, holding the Lunkers to just one score and a extra point return. So great job defensively by the Harbor Monsters in this second half. So I I think we're set and ready to go here after the timeout. Little in the backfield. Now they're going to bend under center. Here's a pitch to Rush. Rush trying to get outside to the right, and he does. Dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Matt Rush scores for the Lunkers. Matt Rush with the touchdown for Ozark. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 here. Let's see. No, they're just going to go for 1. Don't need 2. Smalls with Little in the backfield. Rush to his right. Snap back. Rolling to his left. Throwing it into the end zone, and the ball is tipped. Intercepted once again by the Harbor Monsters. Here they come down the field and finally knocked down. Intercepted by Winsel that time. So the extra point no good. It's 38-32. Duluth on top. They'll get the ball back, but 32 seconds to play in this one. Going to be tough for the Lunkers here. So we may have an onside here. Might be an onside conversion. Yep. So we have an onside conversion. So the Lunkers will have one untimed down with only the play clock running at its own 5-yard line, a 4th and 20 scenario. If they fail to convert, the other team takes possession at that spot. Either team could score. So we have a special play here, onside conversion for the Lunkers from the 5-yard line. It's an untimed play. This is one of those rules that you have that's different than all other games, but they will have one untimed play, and we'll see what the Lunkers do here. It is once again play clock. Only the play clock runs at the 5-yard line. That's where they're at. It's a 4th and 20 scenario. So they got to get it to midfield. They've got to get it to midfield. If they don't, then the Harbor Monsters get it back, and that's probably the game. It's the only play they get like this in the second half. So here we go. One play. They're in tight. Rush wide to the right. Snap and false start. Let's see. Nope. The Harbor Monsters in a little early. Jumping off sides that time was Winsel, trying to rush in a little quick. Also getting in was Spruce. Spruce has lived in the backfield all game long. So let's see. They're going to move them back. So the officials talk it over. So it was against Duluth. So it'll push the Lunkers up 5 yards. And again, this is a special play in the Arena League. When a team is trailing in the second half, it's a 4th and 20 situation, basically. Smalls gets a snap. He's being rushed heavily, and he is going to be knocked back. No, he keeps it alive. This is Little. Little down, the ball loose, and recovered by the Harbor Monsters. So they recover, but I'll tell you what, in the backfield was Lovell Spruce. Spruce got in there quickly. 6'3", 200-pound linebacker. He has created havoc all game long for the Harbor Monsters on the defensive line, but we may have a penalty here. Let's see what they say. Face mask is going to be the call. Face mask is going to be the call. And we'll see what they say here. Now they're going to move it up to what? The midfield. And we'll see what the play is here. Our sky judges next to me. Officials are trying to figure it out here. So again, on the onside conversion, a penalty occurs, and they're trying to figure out how to enforce this. 32 seconds remaining in the contest. They're talking it over with the officials up here and also on the field. The ball is going to be placed at midfield here. So they'll have some questions for the league when this one's over. They're going to say it is Duluth ball. So that should do this one. Duluth leads at 38-32. 32 seconds to play in regulation. And game ending on kind of a questionable call. It was a defensive face mask on the play. So the Harbor Monsters will get the ball. The White Hat is talking it over with the sky judge, who's trying to figure out how to enforce this for sure. Still visiting with people here in the press box area, and we're kind of waiting for their decision. But what had happened, the Lunkers got a play, started on their own 5. Basically, it was a 4th and 20, a one-time 4th and 20 onside conversion, basically. No kicking in this game. So an onside in this league is you get it, you're down in the second half, you get the football one time from the 5, but you got to get it to midfield to keep the drive alive. And they did not do that. Then there was a face mask defensive penalty, and they're trying to figure out how to enforce that here with 30 seconds. So they're trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to listen in as I talk at the same time to the officials. So, face mask against Duluth. And they're going to move the football for the Lunkers. They'll have a first down. Their drive continues. Not making Tony O'Neill very happy with the explanation he's heard. Duluth has to come back on their defense. The Lunkers offensively come back on, so they have a chance to still win this game. It took them a while to iron this one out. Tony O'Neill talking with one of his players on the field. So here we go. Could be a key play here in this game. It's a 6-point lead for Duluth, 38-32 with 32 seconds to play. So again, clock management is huge. You want to move it down quickly. The play clock obviously is 20 seconds. Timeouts are a big factor as well. Smalls has his team set and ready to go. At midfield, the snap. Here's the ball back to Rush. Rush trying to elude the defense. He throws it downfield. Ball is caught inside the 10 and diving in for the touchdown. Touchdown for the Lunkers. Caught by Kendrick Payne from 25 yards out. Matt Rush with the throw to Payne, and Payne scores. And we think that has tied this game up, with the Lunkers having it for the extra point here. Or they're checking to see if he actually got in. Here, they're going to check the replay to see if he got in here. Showing the replay on the board next to us. And well, here's the replay. The pass caught there, and you can't see it. Actually, the question is about, was he stopped by the wall? And they're going to say it is a touchdown. After looking at the replay, they're going to say it was a touchdown. So Matt Rush to Kendrick Payne for the touchdown. The question was he into the wall? So it's tied up at 38 with 21 seconds to play. So the Lunkers will go for one and the potential win here with 21 seconds to play, providing they're set up and ready to go when the official blows the whistle. Here's the snap, the give, throw into the end zone, and it is knocked down. So we have a 38-38 game here. Incomplete pass for the conversion, and now the throw off here will give the ball to the Harbor Monsters. What a game. What a crazy, crazy ending. Lunkers were down basically 2 scores. They got the ball and pushed it across pretty quick. 2-yard run by Matt Rush. And then they throw the 35-yard pass from Rush to Payne, who's had a great game. The conversion no good, and we are tied at 38 here with 21 seconds to play. So, tell you about overtime. If we happen to go to overtime, each team will get at least a possession. After the second overtime, the teams have to go for a 2-point conversion. So set to throw the ball away for the Lunkers is Jones. Jalen Jones is going to throw it deep downfield. Caught inside the 10. Here comes Wenzel, and he's going to be down at the 19-yard line. And it'll be Harbor Monsters ball there in a tie game. Again, there is overtime. If we get to that point, we still have 10 seconds of clock winding down, and looks like we're not going to make another play here. So there's a coin toss first. Then each team gets at least one possession. After the second overtime, the teams must go for a 2-point conversion. That's the way overtime is structured. As we are at the end of regulation. So we will take a break here and bring you the overtime period. We're tied at 38. It's the Arena League on Me TV.
Bass Pro Shops in Cabela stands tall in our unwavering commitment to honoring our heroes. We extend our gratitude beyond words by proudly offering a legendary salute discount to those who protect our freedoms. Our dedication to those who selflessly serve us runs deep within our DNA. It's not just a discount, it's a commitment to making a difference. Because every day is a chance for us to say thank you. Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
We still have 65 seconds.
Well, through all of that, they put some time back on the clock, so we still have 17 seconds to play in regulation. Not quite at overtime yet. The Harbor Monsters still with a chance to win it in regulation. And again, new league, new rules. We're trying to figure everything out. We got a lot of it, but there's some new things that we just haven't come across like this. But the timing at the end of the game was one of those. Does the clock stop during the final 2 minutes of regulation? When they have the onside conversion, how does that run? So they put some time back on the clock. Harbor Monsters have the football and at least one play before the end of the game and before overtime. So here we go. We're set and ready to go. Hopefully you're enjoying this one here tonight on Me TV and the Arena League Network. Back deep is Johnson in the backfield by himself. He'll roll to his left. He's going to throw it into the end zone, and it's going to be caught in the end zone. Is that a touchdown? That is a touchdown for Nathan Cromie. Cromie scores, just outleaps the defender for the Harbor Monsters. How about that? Throws it up in the air. He got behind everybody and out-jumped the defender for the score. And that makes it now Duluth up 44-38 here in the fourth quarter. We were telling you about overtime. Well, may not need it. Duluth going for one here. 44-38 to score. Cromie with the touchdown reception. Here's a flag in the end zone as Strong was trying to wrestle with the Lunkers' Brock Carter, and Carter will pick up the flag there, the penalty on the conversion. So they'll do it again. How about that for a big play? They put 17 seconds on the clock, thought we were going to overtime. Instead, the Harbor Monsters throw a bomb into the end zone, caught by their big wide receiver, 6'4", 190-pound Nathan Cromie for the go-ahead score. Now they're going for one from the 3-yard line. Johnson throws it shallow. It is caught and dropped in the end zone by McAllister. McAllister dove for it but couldn't hang on. And with 3 seconds left, Duluth on top here, 44-38. And the Lunkers will get it back here, and basically one play to, if they get that, they put 8 seconds on the clock now. A 6-point lead for Duluth, and this has been how this game has gone from the outset. Back and forth it's gone. Lead changes, ties. We've had some extra point returns for scores. Just about everything in this one. Unbelievable contest. Bertelsmeyer back. Could be the last hope for Ozark. He scored a couple of return touchdowns last week. Can he do it again? 8 seconds on the clock. Again, we'll have a very short post-game show here just to wrap it up and get you to regular programming at the top of the hour. So it'll be Strong with the throw-off here for the Harbor Monsters from his own goal line. Bertelsmeyer at about the 1 for the Lunkers. Here it comes. Fires it downfield, caught inside the 5 by Bertelsmeyer. They go with the pitch. Here's Rush trying to get outside. He's wrapped up nearly. Still on his feet, dives forward and falls. And that is going to be, Lunkers will give it up, and that's the end of the game. The Harbor Monsters win this one 44-38, and they improve to 1-1 on the season. The Lunkers fall to 1-1 on the season. A last-second touchdown reception for Nathan Cromie from his quarterback Javante Johnson, and that was the difference in this one. 44-38 is your final. The Duluth Harbor Monsters win it over the Ozarks Lunkers. Big game here tonight. Don't forget, coming up next week for these two teams, it'll be Ozarks playing at Iowa against the Woo, and Duluth on Sunday, they will take on Kansas City. That'll be their next home game, and that'll be at the Deck Arena in the Duluth area. 44-38 is your final score from Wilson Logistics Arena. That'll do it tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This is Tom Ladd.